Hello, and welcome to Emily's Literacy Corner. Today we will be talking about fluency and ways that you can support multilingual learners in reading fluency. So we will start with making sure that we have an understanding of vocabulary in regards to fluency. So what is fluency? Fluency is critical for skilled reading. There are many definitions of fluency, but most definitions agree that fluency means reading accurately, at an appropriate rate, and with prosody. Accuracy refers to reading the words correctly. Rate means reading with speed or automaticity, and prosody means reading with good expression. It is really important to remember, though, that fluency is not the goal in itself. Comprehension is the goal. Just because a student is reading fluently doesn't necessarily mean they are comprehending the text. So you can kind of think of fluency as a key that unlocks the door to meaning. When students read with automaticity and prosody, their minds aren't bogged down by trying to figure out how to do this. So that freed up mental energy and cognitive resources can be entirely devoted to understanding the text. So this is why we need to prioritize reading routines. They can help us bridge the gap from decoding to deep understanding. So why is fluency challenging for multilingual learners? For our multilingual learners and students who speak an English language variation, fluency can be challenging because they are often translating or adjusting their dialect while they're reading. This slows down their processing and makes the comprehension piece crumble. Students are using up their cognitive resources trying to translate what they are reading, so that makes it difficult to focus on comprehension or understanding what they're reading at the text level or sometimes even at the sentence level. Before we discuss the reading routines, we do need to talk about the importance of explicit instruction, especially when it comes to prosody. We often tell students to read with expression, but that instruction is too vague. It doesn't really tell them what you're asking for. So we have to explicitly teach prosody. For our multilingual learners, prosody can be challenging because the intonation patterns of English may be different from their home language. They may also be very focused on decoding every single word accurately, leaving no real cognitive space for expression. So, how can we make this explicit? One way to do this is to annotate the text. So you can teach the text before you read it. So you can take a short passage, have students circle the punctuation marks, and you can even label them with an action. So, for example, a period might get a stop sign signaling them that that is a stopping point. A comma might get a little like lift and breathe symbol, showing that they take a breath after a comma. And a question mark gets a curved line showing a rising pitch. We also need to explicitly model and practice varying our reading rate. A lot of times we read dialogue faster than descriptive narrative. And by teaching students to read punctuation, we can give them a tangible and visual strategy to practice English, improving both rate and expression. We will be looking at some reading routines that educators can implement in their classrooms to help all students, but especially multilingual learners with fluency. These routines include echo reading, choral reading, and partner reading. The first routine we will discuss is echo reading. With echo reading, the teacher models reading a short text out loud as the students follow along using their fingers to keep track of where the teacher is at. After the teacher is finished, the student then rereads the text out loud. The student should attempt to read with the same expression as the teacher. This is a great strategy for multilingual learners because they get to hear an explicit model of English pronunciation, intonation, and pacing before they attempt it themselves. Complex syntax is often a struggle for our multilingual learners. So when teachers explicitly model the pause and grouping of words in a complex sentence, we can show them how to make sense of the structure, which directly supports their reading comprehension. Using the example sentence on this slide, I will show you how I would read this sentence for echo reading. I'm going to read the sentence out loud, and I want you to follow along with your finger as I read. When I'm done, it will be your turn to read the sentence out loud. Try to read it like I read it. Okay, here we go. Although the water felt cold, the explorers continued to cross the river. Now it's your turn. So explicitly modeling the pause after the dependent clause at the beginning of the sentence will help multilingual learners comprehend the structure of that sentence. Our next routine is called choral reading. With choral reading, the whole group or class reads the same passage aloud together in unison. This is really great for multilingual learners to help build their confidence when they may feel self-conscious about pronunciation or how they speak. This allows them to hear and practice how they are pronouncing words without being singled out. The best way to implement choral reading in the classroom is to begin by reading the text out loud to the whole class as they follow along. Then you can have the whole class or group read the passage together. You can then repeat this process with the whole class or break your students up into smaller groups. And then you can even have the students switch up the groups they're reading with to read with different students. For our third routine, we have partner reading. With partner reading, students work in pairs, taking turns reading sections of a text. The non-reading partner is an active listener and can act as a coach, offering constructive feedback and support. This keeps students engaged regardless of their role in the routine. This is good for multilingual learners because teachers can strategically pair students, and several different types of pairings have been recommended for multilingual learners. Teachers can partner a multilingual student with a monolingual English student or another multilingual learner with stronger English skills. This allows them to hear the modeled reading fluently. A teacher can also partner a multilingual student with someone with weaker language skills. This gives them an opportunity to help a peer and can build their confidence. It's important that teachers instruct students on partner reading before beginning this routine. Teachers will need to cover the basic procedures of partner reading, how to listen to their partners, and how to provide positive, constructive feedback to their partners. If your students do well with partner reading, you can also make a little game out of it just to switch it up. You can give each pair of students a 6-sided dice, and then before they start reading, the reader can roll the dice. Whatever number the dice lands on is how many sentences they will read before they switch roles. So that can just add a little bit of fun to this routine as well. Ultimately, each of these reading routines allows for multilingual learners to practice their oral language skills and build fluency. Fluency is a skill that must be taught and practiced daily. These are evidence-based routines that keep students engaged in the reading process. By providing modeled practice through echo reading, you're building accurate pronunciation and prosody. Choral reading fosters a safe communal space where students can practice rate and prosody without the fear of correction or being singled out. And partner reading maximizes the total amount of reading time and develops core vital academic language skills as students coach each other. Remember, consistency is important. Try to integrate one or more of these routines every day and watch your multilingual learners make rapid gains in both fluency and confidence. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed these routines, and I'll see you next time.